Welcome back to Scout Report. After a triumphant Clasico victory and flawless run-in gave Real Madrid just their second title in 8 years this summer, it's easy to forget the club's disastrous start to the campaign. Following a failed move for Man United's Paul Pogba, all hopes were pinned on the banner acquisition of Eden Hazard for €100 million. Only for the Belgian to turn up out of shape and ill-prepared for a tough campaign against a new-look Atletico Madrid and a Barcelona side boosted by £250 million worth of acquisitions. A 7-3 loss to Atletico in pre-season looked like an omen of shifting power in the Spanish capital, and 2 draws from their first 3 Liga games even put Zidane's head, if not on the chopping block, then uncomfortably close to it. Even the Champions League, the club's most valued competition, didn't help, with an embarrassing defeat to PSG followed by a chaotic home draw with Club Brugge in the first 2 fixtures, leaving the Real hierarchy so desperate that Florentino Perez reportedly considered bringing arch-enemy Jose Mourinho back to the Bernabeu. But 9 months on and Mourinho is coaching another team in white, while Zidane is celebrating his 11th trophy in just over 200 matches as a coach. But what did the Frenchman do to bring Los Blancos back from the brink? Rebalancing midfield. As the pursuit of Pogba made clear, Madrid's midfield was in dire need heading into the 2019-20 campaign. Though Luka Modric ended up turning down Inter Milan to remain in the Spanish capital, the Ballon d'Or winner was 34 and incapable of tracking back in the way he had before. And with Isco and James Rodriguez in the squad, Zidane naturally felt the 4-2-3-1 was a better shape for the talent at his disposal, deploying Toni Kroos alongside the ever-present Casemiro in midfield. Unfortunately, the system highlighted the deficiencies in both players. Kroos, once capable of winning possession over 4 times a game, had sunk to under 3 with the advent of his 30th birthday, while Casemiro was asked to play a more active role in possession, hitting more long balls and attempting more dribbles than in any other season at Madrid, and as a result getting dispossessed more than in 3 of the 4 previous campaigns. An embarrassing 3-0 loss to a PSG side missing Neymar and Mbappe was the turning point. Knowing that Casemiro couldn't hurt them the way Kroos could, PSG targeted the German, making him play a third of his passes under pressure, and as a consequence Kroos and Casemiro created just 1 chance between them, compared to 4 laid on by Idrissa Gueye and Marco Verratti. Real simply couldn't play, failing to register a single shot on target to the French club's 5. Zidane needed a solution. He found it in Uruguayan youngster Federico Valverde. Though the then 21-year-old didn't excel in any particular phase of play, his pace and work rate instantly made the midfield harder to play through. When defending, Casemiro had someone there to help out, with Valverde putting up around 4 tackles and interceptions a game. And when Los Blancos had the ball, Valverde was capable of moving it up the pitch, carrying the ball forward around 150 yards a game, the same as Modric and Kroos, and significantly above Casemiro's middling 98 yards. The result was virtually instantaneous, and not just because of Valverde's individual contribution, but because of the way his energy galvanised an ageing and comfortable squad. From making a tackle or interception every 9.5 passes their opponents played, Real were now making a defensive action every 8.5 passes, a difference which sounds small but saw their opponents' pass completion rate drop by 4%. In the return fixture against PSG, despite the game ending in a 2-2 draw, Real were dominant, racking up 3 XG to the visitors' 2. Valverde led his side in tackles and interceptions. Casemiro, Kroos and the youngster made 96 pressures to Verratti, Marquinhos and Gueye's 88, and while the French midfield 3 produced 1 chance, the Real triumvirate made 10. Zidane's changes had turned the path through Madrid's midfield from a red carpet into a war zone. Defence first. For all the success of Zidane's first spell with Real, it was the attack, not the defence, which powered the club to glory. Madrid allowed 160 goals in 149 games under the Frenchman between 2016 and 2018, and in his 3 seasons in charge ranked 3rd, 4th and 6th in La Liga for goals conceded. However, while before the attack could score its way out of trouble, netting an average of 103 goals in the top flight each campaign before Ronaldo and Zizou both left, it no longer has the same firepower, and consequently reinforcing the back line has become a priority. Thibaut Courtois has seen plenty of plaudits for his role in the side's defensive rebirth, but the Belgian is only as good as the players in front of him, as shown by the early weeks of the season when he was slapped around in the press for conceding 8 goals in the opening 4 league matches. Instead, it has been Ferland Mendy who has done a job once considered impossible and dislodged club legend Marcelo from the left-back slot, admittedly with the help of injuries. While new signings Hazard, Militao and Jovic struggled to get into the lineup, playing 32%, 30% and 12% of the available league minutes respectively, Mendy has made himself indispensable in his first season, becoming the 10th most used player in Zidane's squad. The 25-year-old's greater defensive awareness has been key to shutting down the left flank. While he and Marcelo complete a similar number of tackles and interceptions a game, between 2.5 and 3, the 32-year-old Brazilian gets beaten half the time when an opponent tries to dribble past him. By comparison, Mendy is dribbled past just 11% of the time, and his mobility helps in attack too, where he manages 2.4 take-ons of his own each game, twice as many as the veteran teammate. In the modern game, simply having a fullback with the desire and athleticism to be in the right area can often make the difference, and without the gaping hole on the left side caused by Marcelo's heavy involvement in attack, coupled with possibly the last truly great season we can expect from Sergio Ramos and another excellent 12 months from Rafael Varane, Real conceded just 18 goals from open play all season long, and ended up with a record of only 25 against them in total, the best record in Spain and the club's best defensive performance since the division switched to 38 matches. They conceded 7 goals fewer than in 2011-12 under Mourinho, and as a result, despite the drop-off in attack, racked up 87 points, 5 more than second place Barcelona and more than 4 of the last 7 seasons. Once a gung-ho team which crushed opponents under the weight of their own shots, Real have recast themselves as a defensive powerhouse, wrenching control from the opposition and offering no way through for even the most talented forwards. But it wouldn't work without an attacking plan of their own, and the key there lies with one man: Karim Benzema. Teamed up with Cristiano Ronaldo and Gareth Bale for the majority of his time in Madrid, it's easy to underrate Karim Benzema and forget that Los Blancos paid €35 million for the Frenchman when he was just 22, after he'd scored 54 goals in the previous 2 campaigns for Lyon, more than Harry Kane, Sadio Mane or Mo Salah in their last 2. But it was still a tall order for the striker to step up in the absence of his Galactico teammates, especially with key creators Modric and Marcelo aging out of the starting lineup. However, the veteran has more than pulled his weight. In 2018-19, he hit 21 league goals in a miserable Madrid attack which scored just 63 in La Liga, their worst return since 2000. And he probably expected an easier time of it in 2019-20. Though a year older, he had James returning from Bayern Munich to add vision to the midfield, while Eden Hazard was expected to draw off defenders and give Benzema more space to breathe. But it didn't turn out that way. Having produced close to 3 chances a game for the last 5 years at Chelsea, Hazard's creative output halved on moving to Spain, while James was sidelined and Bale's performances started to mirror his attitude. And it's a strange fact of the new-look Real that there is no exceptional creator. Only Toni Kroos made more than 2 chances per 90 for the club last season, with Marcelo and Modric next on 1.8. And fourth on the list is Benzema himself. In fact, the centre-forward registered the most league assists at the Bernabeu with 8, and while you'd imagine he would have got more when he had Ronaldo to pass to, the 32-year-old has created 14 top-flight goals for his teammates since the Portuguese left in 2018, just 1 fewer than he did in the 2 seasons before that. And of course, we haven't even got to his goal scoring yet. For the 2nd year in a row, Benzema scored 21 in La Liga, and it's just as well he did. Though goals were evenly shared around the squad, with just Eder Militao, Alvaro Odriozola and Brahim Diaz failing to score among the 24 outfielders Zidane used, the only other player to get into double figures in a white shirt was Sergio Ramos, whose 6 penalties brought him to an overall total of 11. After the defender, Casemiro and Kroos were the most prolific with 4. Meanwhile, Luka Jovic, brought in at a cost of €60 million to take the burden off Benzema, is clearly not trusted by Zidane yet, and struggled to adapt to playing point man against sitting defences, having thrived in a partnership with Seb Haller at Eintracht Frankfurt. he netted just twice. All this meant that Benzema had to play every week, missing just 85 minutes all year and racking up an amazing 0.83 expected goals and assists per 90, the second best mark in Spain behind Lionel Messi, and one of just 2 Real players to break 0.5, with Vinicius Jr. just scraping over that threshold. Responsible for scoring or creating 41% of his club's goals, Benzema dragged the team to glory, demonstrating exceptional leadership as he earned the 18th trophy of his time in Madrid. And if Hazard can find form in 2021, Rodrygo and Vinicius continue their ascent, and Marco Asensio come back firing, he could add to that number before age finally puts an end to his stardom. So that was how Zinedine Zidane broke Barcelona's dominance to take back La Liga, but what did you make of it? Let us know in the comments below. If you have any ideas for future scout reports, please let us know down there too, and leave us a like if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.